What's going on, y'all? Another live. Another live with the homies. I'm about to invite my brothers in so we can get today's conversation started. But yeah, we got a good one for y'all today. We got a good one. I'm actually kind of excited. I'm not kind of excited. I'm super excited because we about to give y'all some words and some perspectives that usually don't get, and also you're gonna get a chance to get some insight on the things that we talk about as men, like behind closed doors, and you get to be a fly on the wall in a man's conversation, a real man. So if you're watching this, make sure you send this out to some folks. We definitely have some super insightful conversations, and yeah, you're just gonna have the opportunity to see how we dialogue and how we evolve as people. This experience is you being a fly on the wall with three brothers as they evolve through the world on the things that we talk about behind closed doors. So the things that we talk about behind closed doors, we're now bringing them to the forefront of the internet because we feel like these conversations are valuable for everybody to have. So I'm just sending out the invite to everybody. So y'all make sure y'all send this out. We definitely want to make sure the numbers is up. We want to make sure we get as many viewers in here as possible. And also, if y'all want to chat with us, feel free to come in here and request a live so we can get the conversation going as well. Especially if it's something that you found insightful, or if you don't agree. If it's something that you feel like, hey, like what is these niggas talking about? I disagree. Like y'all niggas is not going down the right path. Feel free to hop on with us and we'll get the conversation going. So for Sky and Don, just send a request to pop in. Oh, but yeah, y'all make sure y'all save this. We want to get these numbers up so we can talk.
Hello.
What's going on with you, brother?
Put my contacts in. I'm going to settle down in a second. Hold on.
You said you was crying because of what? You alright?
Yeah, I got my heart broken.
Oh, you got your heart broke. Is that what we talking? Is that what we talking about today? Heartbreak? We could
Shit,
talk.
man.
We could talk about heartbreak. Everybody done got their. That's relatable. Everybody done got their heart broke a couple times.
Nah, I'm good. I'm actually
Okay.
full of happiness, man. Nah, I had to put my contacts in. And that sometimes brings the tears. And I'm taking my hair out. Been in these rubber bands for too long. Where Don at?
Waiting on them to pop up in here.
Have you talked to him
Yeah,
in
I
like the
just,
last?
I
Okay.
literally just got off the phone with them.
Uh, okay.
Yeah, while y'all waiting, like I said, just hold tight. We're gonna get the conversation going. Feel free to send a live out, hit that little arrow at the bottom right,
Oh,
and
let me
just send it
send
to
it right
everybody.
now.
You know what I'm saying? It's a valuable conversation that we have and is going to have. So feel free to spam people because at the end of the day, once they get here, they locked in for life.
Locked in for life. Locked in for life. Alright. Let me send this client workout. Corrections.
I sent them the request, so hopefully he got it.
Yeah, I mean he should be paying attention too. So
I
not
mean, I
not
did
not
tell
to
him.
put him on blast.
I did tell him we were just getting on.
hmm I'm just sending this out to everybody that I got in here. Okay. They should show you everybody that's online right now, and you can just send it to everybody like that. They should do that.
What's going on, Ace? What's going on, Queen? What's going on, Asha? Got the homies in here. Y'all hold tight. Don't get off of here because we got a good conversation and I think y'all will be interested in. It's good. Pretty Life. Dearest Cutie Pie, what's up?
My
All this
comment,
intense. Say what?
my comments don't be loading, man.
What's going on, Sterling?
Is that the last one you see sent by Sterling?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Because I just feel like after a while, it just mine stopped loading. So I'll just let y'all tend to the comments.
All right. Well, look, if Don don't hop in here within the next like 2 minutes, we just go ahead and get it going because we're not gonna keep y'all waiting. It's Sunday. I know y'all got things to do,
Yeah.
people to see.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on, Vaughn? This is my sergeant from the army that just popped in here.
Okay. Okay. Got guys from past lives.
Yeah, they get to pop in and see what my world is really like. You know what's crazy? When I was in the army, like nobody really knew nothing about my life. They just
I
probably just thought
figured.
I was just like some like lame ass old nigga.
Uh
Not
huh.
really. I mean, I did a little bit of business, but I didn't really showcase my real light. I was just kind of like experiencing the army, and I didn't really, I tapped in with people,
hmm
but they didn't really know who they was dealing with.
Of course.
They
I'd have been
didn't,
the
they didn't
same
know,
way.
they didn't know that they was dealing with a rock star and a superstar.
Like I said, a rock star.
Yeah,
that
I'm definitely a rock. I've been a rock star since day one.
that go down.
Oh, man, we
Hey,
got badges. We got badges going up already. That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you,
Usher.
Sterling. Appreciate you greatly, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even got the conversation started, but thank you. I appreciate you, brother. All right, we got Magic Don Juan in the building.
Donuts with dads in the building. Shout out to y'all. Thank you. That's a little group that I'm actually technically still in. It's a group that assists dads with just communication and being there for them. You're able to share and everything like that. So if you're a dad in here, join Donuts with Dads, man. Great platform
Donuts,
for fathers.
donuts, dads. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. We over here getting tips and compliments. Somebody told me I was handsome. She wasn't talking about y'all, nigga. She was just talking
She
about me.
she said men plural.
She
Thank you,
said, she
CC.
said, at Mercer, what I see with my glasses is at Mercer Millions is a handsome black man. So that's what
Thank
so
you,
I,
CC.
that's what I see, CC. All right, so look,
Nah.
we're gonna get it going. Enough of the games and the giggles. So, like I was saying earlier, what makes this live very unique and interesting, and the reason why y'all want to stay locked in for the whole time, is we have a lot of deep, insightful conversations, and we feel like people need to hear it. So, y'all basically gonna have the opportunity to be a fly on the wall in the conversations that we have as brothers. We are always evolving and growing and building, and we have things that we feel like maybe it'd be too much for the internet, so we don't say. But at this point, we like, you know what? It's a lot of wild shit on the internet. So if somebody think it's wild, it's wild. But at the end of the day, the words and the conversations that we have is what's going to evolve us as a community, black
hmm
men, black women, and everybody else that decide to chime in and listen. But before we get started, just to let you guys know an update on my life. One of my closest brothers passed away yesterday. Rest in peace, Carlos Rivas. This is like my brother. He was like my brother, like how y'all was my brother. King of Kings, 101,
hmm
elite level thinker, elite level family man, top earner in every business that he ever had. Solid
mm
dude overall,
mm
good heart.
mm
He checked off all boxes. You know what I'm saying? He was literally like a angel. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Carlos. His brand was called the Move Forward. Of course, he made a brand about enlightenment and light and God. So the Move Forward is just all about whatever we need to do to move forward in life. So I want everybody on this live to know who Carlos is and know that he was an angel, one of the greatest humans ever. He's one of the reasons why I'm even doing this because he's a media guy. He was the first media guy. He was the first podcaster. He was a podcaster before a podcast.
mm.
But shout out to Carlos. We appreciate and love you. So we're gonna
Shout
start
out
it
to
off like that.
Carlos, man. Rest in peace, man.
Yes, sir.
So we taking the move forward for you, brother, every single day, man. So love you, brother. But all right, conversation time. So I got a couple different topics I want to bring up with you guys. But the first topic is we watched a balloon pop, challenge. Like anybody in the comments, have y'all watched the balloon pop thing, the little dating thing where they gotta pop the balloon if they like the person or not? Like
hmm
drop a balloon in the chat. Drop a balloon in the chat if if y'all have watched the balloon challenge because it is hilarious. You know what I'm saying? So we watched it and it was this one dude that was like, pause, a nice looking dude. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
He had manners. He spoke well. He was polite. He seemed like a solid dude.
He
Like
was
to us,
solid.
like
Yeah.
to us, he seemed like a solid dude, right? But
hmm
every girl popped the balloon, like every girl. So us as men, we like, wait. So if he looked nice, and every girl said he handsome too. He was like, "Oh yeah, he's handsome,
We
but
should have showed it, bro.
can we show it?"
Well, I mean, I can like at least put my. Let me. While you talking, I'm gonna try to pull up Instagram real quick.
Okay, okay. So basically, us as men, we like, hold on, these dudes is going on these dating shows, and to us, we like, hey, these dudes is solid. But the girls is like, nah, we not interested. You got a little line on your beard. You ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, your
Right.
your shoelace is untied. Like, you ain't for me. You know what I mean? And I know it's a show, but as men, we dialogue on these things. So we be like, so are we good enough? Like, what more do we got to bring to the table to be desirable to women? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like either he too short, or it was the skinny jeans, or his shoelace was untied, or they didn't like his voice, or they didn't like something that he said to another girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Real quick, where did you send it? Did you text that to us?
Yeah.
It's in a group text.
Oh, I'm not seeing it. Oh, I see it now. I see it now. I see it now. All right.
You got
Let's see if I.
another screen? You got another screen that you're gonna show them?
Yeah, let me see if it'll play all out. Yes. All right. Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear it or no?
Not really.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's cool. We don't gotta show it.
No, 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 no.
He's like, nah, we gotta show it.
No, we about to get there. We're right here, y'all. All right. So can y'all hear?
It's not super clear. Oh yeah, let her ride, let her ride, let her ride.
This is the guy.
It can't be.
Yeah, it's not loud enough for them to hear, I think.
Okay. Well, I wanted them to at least see how the guy looked.
His braids was too short.
My man had the little Iverson. He ain't have a lot of hang
He
time,
he didn't
but
have enough. He didn't have enough hang time. You can't get no girls until your hair go past your ears.
okay. So yeah.
All right, so look, so
I think
just to get into the conversation, Asha said she got something for us, and it might be interesting. So we hold on, Asha, we gonna get you in here. So basically, as men, we be like, damn, what do we gotta do? Like we can't do nothing right. We can't have enough. And then also we was just looking like, damn, he's probably losing because he was being very like cool and polite. Like he was being too nice. And that was the dialogue that we had. So we gonna just go around the horn. Why was this dude losing from a man's perspective, going to this pop the balloon challenge and being lined up with these women? Why do y'all feel like he really got rejected so much?
so. I'll go first because I know y'all have a little more, and then I'll chime in after y'all. I think that he was losing because once the first couple, maybe one or two women popped their balloons and said what they said, the other ones didn't really want to go against the grain. I don't think they wanted to look like the woman who actually liked the guy that nobody else wanted. And so that's
Mm.
why I think he lost. You know what I'm saying? Now, there are other factors I feel like, other things that could have turned the women off or made them feel a certain kind of way. But I think in general, though, all the balloons was popped because none of the women wanted to like the guy that the other women didn't want.
And you feel like that was the main thing?
I feel like it was a heavier reason. Yes, yes, absolutely.
So
Because when I, again, just looking at him real quick, let me finish mine. He wasn't ugly. He was clean. He was lined up. I mean, maybe it wasn't sharp, 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 but he was lined up. He did have on skinny jeans. I don't rock the skinny jeans. But outside of that, though, he was cool. He was cool. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I can't remember what the first word lady said, but yeah, I'll let y'all go. But I think it was just the monkey see, monkey do to me.
so CC said the
Mm,
dude was losing because women were lost.
thank
That's the
you.
bar.
We done. My
Choo,
whole
choo, choo,
thing is
choo, choo,
done.
choo, 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 choo.
J-Mo, Don, y'all go ahead. I'm done. Because y'all already know. Go ahead. We
The
done.
dude was losing because the women are lost. Hey,
From a
I gotta pin
woman.
that
I
one.
said it. I said
I
it.
got I gotta pin that one. Hold
I
on.
said it. Mm.
Lost in the sauce. So what was he losing, Don? What was your perspective on that?
he just didn't have enough bravado. Like he ain't had no spice. I think in the beginning she asked him, she was like, "Oh, what are you looking for in a woman?" Even his tone of voice, like his demeanor. Well, somebody's kind. He's
Nah, don't
nah. Hey, run the clip back. Hey, run the clip back. He and he didn't stand on his shit. So he told the one shorty, he was like, "Oh yeah, you got a nice little Cam Newton hat." It was a cornball comment, but we all
It
say
was. It
shit
was.
from time to time.
It was.
But he should have stood on it. Where she was just like, "Damn, Cam Newton, I feel like you shooting shots." He could have just been like, "Nah, I mean, I'm not shooting no shots. I just think it looked like a Cam Newton hat. It's cool though." And left it at that. He started explaining himself. Well, and then she already done got him in the Venus, the fucking fly trap. And she ate his ass alive. She said something like, "Oh, I can't be Alicia Keys." Well, Alicia Keys, that's my baby. You doing too much, bro. Like, just come there, present yourself. If they are yes, it's either a yes or no. And if they not fucking with it, then it's not for you. He was low key trying to seek validation in women too by being overly nice. And you can't be doing that. Just present yourself as you are, and if they fuck with you, they fuck with you.
I,
That's why he was
I
losing.
I agree. Like I feel like when a man goes in front of a bunch of women off top, they're looking for disqualifying factors. Off top. When
Problem.
we
That's a problem.
when
Go
we
ahead.
when we get in front of women, we're looking for qualifying factors. We gonna see that she cute. We gonna see her body. We gonna see the way she talk. We looking for reasons to bring her closer to us, and I think they're looking for disqualifiers. So it could have been his skinny jeans. It could have been his voice. It could have been something he said. So then he got the first couple pops. So also, I think girls have like a gang mentality. Like once one of them, or once the majority kind of get in on it, they all in on it. So once half the balloons is gone, it's pretty much a wrap because nobody wants the loser. No girl wants the dude that's the fucking loser.
hmm
Yeah.
So even if he's not a loser, in this 10 seconds, he presented himself like a loser. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's the psychology of a woman wanting a winner, women having gang mentality when it comes to picking dudes, and also he was soft spoken and I'm soft spoken, but I feel like his confidence wasn't there. So I even feel like as a soft spoken man, you gotta have 10 times more confidence because there's definitely been women that I've approached and they might have looked at me like I was soft because I have a soft voice. You know what I'm saying? But I also gotta come with supreme confidence for people to know, like, yeah, I'm not no bitch ass nigga though.
now, I think that a lot of what we're saying is valid, right, for women and how we should approach women. But now let's get to what CC is saying. I feel like those women wasn't for him anyway. And now I want to talk about our Black American women. And I feel like what the fact how they tried to clown him, it reminds me of when just black people be clowning somebody who's positive or whatever. It's funny, whatever, but it's kind of like, why are we doing that? So now we get to this guy who literally looks like a stand-up guy, cool, chill, may have been slightly soft-spoken, maybe not as clever, but I ask, in other cultures, would these women be doing this to their men? A good man coming up to the podium, hey, I'm ready to settle down and do make a family. Are they clowning him? Are they saying, oh, his lineup? Oh, the skinny jeans. Are those the comments that are in other cultures? I don't know. I'm asking.
I got some
Or
girls.
is it
I
something
got
that's more specific with Black American women? Go ahead.
it's
Or
some girls.
American women.
It's some girls viewing this right now. I know they be clowning niggas. I know they be going in on niggas. When you out and about and a dude come to you and he's not like to your standard, I feel like it's a all girl thing where they go back into the group like this nigga and his dirty ass tee and this beat
Okay,
up
I'm not
ass
see,
car.
but that's not what I'm saying though. He didn't have no dirty
I
tee on.
mean,
He didn't have no beat up clothes.
whatever the fault was, I feel like women is gonna go in on you on whatever it was.
Okay.
But
Well,
we
then
got
we start to think about, well, why are we finding faults in somebody who has a job, a car, and a good man? He's just trying to have a family. Why are we trying to find faults? That's the question.
So,
because
oh,
we're
go
not
ahead.
good enough.
Mm.
The thing that I was also going to present is there is such a thing as bullshit test. I think there's another word for it, but I'm gonna just use that for now. That women do. And it's like an unconscious psychological thing where you test a man's will to see how he can handle chaos.
Mm-hmm.
So I think across all cultures, but primarily in this example, they were testing his will by popping the balloon. I think it was a combination of testing his will and then also a hive-like mentality, nobody wanting to get the leftovers. Based off of how he reacted is going to orchestrate if they want to go ahead
Renee.
and continue to move forward with him. But they knew that their decision to go ahead and pop that balloon was smart because there he showed them how he handles resistance. And as a masculine, as a man who's supposed to be presenting himself in a masculine light, you are going to have to be able to handle chaos. Sometimes I think unconsciously women will test your spirit to see how you can handle different situations that may arise in chaos. And he handled it in a very passive way, which is not securing, which does not bring a sense of security to them as a woman. That doesn't allow them to be subdued into their feminine. He was kind of being a little effeminate, and that causes them to now evoke their masculine quality traits because there's no protector around.
I can agree mostly. I think that his fire back wasn't strong enough. That Cam Newton comment, y'all say what y'all say. All right, the next comment I say need to be, you know what I'm saying? Where it's making like, okay, maybe I
Yeah,
shouldn't have popped
yeah,
the balloon. He kind
yeah,
of clever. He kind of, and he didn't give him that. So yeah, you didn't come out strong. They pointed you out for it, but once they point you out, all right, like JMO said, you got to have something in your back pocket, and he had a Cam Newton comment in his back pocket. It just, it didn't hit. So okay,
So so
okay.
so
That's
we
like I
all
said. I
so
see both
so
sides, sort of.
so we all agree then just being a solid man is not enough.
And
You gotta have some sauce, you gotta have some
yes,
personality, you gotta
and
have some
please,
witty, you gotta have some wittiness,
mm-hmm,
and you gotta have confidence.
yes, you need to have wittiness or cleverness, or as the kids say, there is.
Oh no, you didn't.
Which I just
Riz.
learned was short for charisma. I did not even know that.
That's how
So
you know that's how we know we old. Like nigga, what is Riz?
nigga said the Riz. I'm saying it all lame. But anyway, yeah, bro. I don't really think he didn't have the sauce, as we say.
Yeah.
He had the meal, but you do need the sauce on top to make it pop.
He had the
And
meal, but he
he
didn't
had
have
the
the
deal,
sauce.
but not the
Hey,
yeah,
sauce.
he ain't had the drizzle on top.
hey,
You know what I mean?
hey,
Nobody would eat
Paul.
carrots and
Oh,
broccoli and
Hey, hey,
pause.
it's like Paul's times five, man. He had the meal, but he didn't have the sauce, but he had the drizzle. Hey, y'all niggas is wild.
I didn't hear the drizzle.
Nah, not really. I mean,
Hey,
nigga said he did drizzle it, but
Hey, so Mika B says some women will find a flaw in a man before the man finds a flaw in them. They aren't secure in themselves.
mm, I
So
like it.
we
I'm
so
not able to see these new comments, so y'all gotta definitely let me know. I don't know
all
why my
right.
comments be cutting off.
So we about to show y'all how much confidence plays when it comes to dealing with women because we saw another pop the balloon challenge where we saw the dude and he looked overweight. He didn't look clean cut. He didn't look like a solid stand up dude. He didn't look like a desirable dude. So when
Hmm.
this dude came out, every girl popped their balloon. And dude came back was like, it's cool that they popped their balloon. They don't know my worth. They'll be back. They'll be back around. And all the girls was like, you are overly confident. Like, what are you talking about? Why are you so confident? You're fat. You got a dad bod. You look married. And they pressed him. And his response was, you know what? They going to change their mind. It's cool. All the girls popped their balloon. He said, they going to change their mind. They'll be back. This dude, thank you. Thank you for
Just
pulling
showing
that
y'all
up.
how you look. Yeah,
So we saw this dude, and he don't look like to us like a nigga that's like that dude.
I got the
But
sound off.
all the girls popped the balloon, and he was like, you know what? They tripping. They'll be back. And he said it with full confidence. And then he was like, does anybody want to unpop their balloon? One of the girls was like, hey, I'll unpop mine. And she changed her mind just off his confidence alone. And then he had enough nerve to reject her. He was just
Rejector,
like,
right?
he was just like, you know what? You cool, but I think it's another one out there for me. And another girl came. Hey, another girl came and he got it. So it just shows how confidence could literally change your whole everything when it comes to women.
Yes. And what was the actual phrase that he said? He said, "The one that knows the worth will come," or something like that. The
The
one
one,
who knows my worth
the
will
one who
come.
knows my worth will come.
Yes,
No,
and
he
she walked
said
out.
the one who knows their worth will come.
Oh, he
Ooh,
said their
even
worth.
deeper, even
Yeah,
deeper.
the one who knows their worth will come.
Yes.
Uh,
I can't really fast forward it, but I was going to try to wait till the lady walked up. But
and, and
yeah,
and so to have a transparent question with y'all. So as men that have a lot of good things going on in y'all world, both of y'all have bullet points on why y'all are solid men in the world. But do you guys have moments to where you feel like you're not good enough? You've built everything that you built. You solid. You got your income. You got your businesses. You got your accomplishments. We got military veterans. We got filmmakers. We got all of these things, but do you ever have points where you feel like you are not good enough for your woman or a woman?
yes, yes. And it's to the point where sometimes JMO has to remind me of the things that I do. He's telling me like, "Nigga, you're an author, you're a filmmaker. You're a guru. You this, that, and the third." And I have to be reminded of these things because it don't seem like I am. it seems like when I walk out here and I throw them titles around and I show the work behind those titles. I'm also a mycologist. Um, you would think that women would be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, good man, solid, making good decisions, setting up foundations, this, that, and the third." But that's not the case because I think that to a certain level, some of these modern women are looking for a slice of toxic behavior, and however that comes out, I'm gonna end mine. I want y'all to
No,
go,
you,
and I'll come
no,
back.
you, no, you, no, you didn't talk about the modern woman.
I don't
He
talk
said
about
a
who
lot.
the fuck I want to talk about. Yo, when on this podcast, yo, it's time to get down to the fucking point, bro. Like I'm tired of beating around the bush, bro. It is what it is. Like, you could. I'll hypothetically say this: you could set up a whole American dream for a person, and they just throw it away for a minor detail. So, with knowing that for a fact, I know that just being a good guy, having a good job, having a career, or having aspirations isn't enough.
So,
It's not
so
enough.
drop. So, ladies, drop in the
Seemingly,
comments. Do y'all feel like that's enough to be just a solid guy is enough, or do we need some extra credit, or what do guys need other than like career, gentleman type things? What do we need? What do they need from y'all? They got to be funny. They got to be tall. Do we got to be dicking you down right? Like, what are the things that y'all need that's not the standard, but also, we're gonna get you, Jadon. So, do you feel like you are enough, or you bringing enough to the table, even though you are, to me, a top tier person? But at the end of the day, I'm not dating you. You the homie. I'm for sure pump you up. But to the women, do you feel like you are bringing enough to be a desirable man in the United States?
Yes and no. I think when you are always on the path of self improvement, you always feel like you're lacking in some area. And that goes across all boards that I evaluate my life, even outside of relationships, business, finance, so on and so forth. So because I'm always looking to grow, no. And that even goes for my relationships. But since we're talking about relationships specifically, yes, in a sense, because the things that I've brought um in my intimate relationships with women, they've never experienced like that like me. And even if I were to have conversations with my exes to this day, they haven't ever experienced it again. I brought a new standard to their life. So even if we didn't work out for whatever reason, they could never go back to what they formerly knew. I changed their whole perspective on reality when it comes to the standard that they should have for the men that they deal with.
mm,
And I say yes also because, again, going back to that self improvement thing, there are just things that I reflect on as being a leader, the man in a relationship, that I could have implemented or done better at. But because I was where I was at that point in time in my life, I did lack some maturity because it can never be all one person in any relationship. It would be unfair for me to say that. So when I look at some of the mistakes that I did, or some of the mistakes that I still currently make, I still realize there's a lot more work to do.
So you said ultimately is yes and no.
Yeah, I'm neutral. I would say yes and no.
And I'm also agreeing with that. But go ahead, Jamal, and I'll chime back into you at the end.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I got enough or built enough or have enough personality, entertainment, mixed in with the job, income, stability. I feel like I got all of that. The thing that worries me is I think the most important things that I have as a man that I've cultivated, that I'm standing on, is greatness. I don't feel women value that. I feel it's some things that I've put in my back pocket that I got locked in for life that some people will never experience as far as maintaining a household and being a man. And when I pitch that to women or I tell them that I have this achievement, in my brain, I be thinking like, you know what? They're gonna be locked in with me for life, or interested or trying to build in a family dynamic because this man has this. In my experience, it doesn't even seem like they care. I feel like the value system is very tricky when it comes to dating right now because the things that I have that's most valuable, I don't even think they care about it. I think they care more about the adventure I can take them on or the financial benefit that they can get. But like they don't care about the biggest thing, which is character. I feel like I got the greatest character and I built up this character, like not character, but actually having a high level elite character. And then
Mm-hmm.
also a solid foundation of finance that really don't get a lot of like wow. I feel like it's more
Mm-hmm.
so on how I look or how I can make them feel or how they can be entertained. I feel like entertainment has too much of a value in dating right now because a dude can be worthless, but if he's making a girl laugh and he could just make her feel giggly and bubbly, he got her. You could be literally worthless. You could have zero money, $0 in the bank, have no establishment, but if you a good time, you could damn near get any girl, and that's the problem for me.
I think this, and I agree. I think standards have changed due to the internet. And so this is why I say yes and no because I ultimately, as y'all know, I guess I'm the guy with the optimistic faith, and I truly believe that there are women out there that value what we bring to the table, and we don't have to step outside of ourselves or jeopardize our integrity to gain their attention and possibly have a family with them. Um, but it just I think that in today's society, because most women are ran by the internet, it's going to take a lot more patience to find that person versus maybe like 10, 15 years ago, they would have been down the street. Which is also kind of funny with how we hate the internet for making everything so accessible, but then at the same time, now we kind of need the internet to find someone better for us. It's interesting.
I appreciate that, and we had Asha Too Fierce that had a lot to say in the comments. So I know she gonna have some. I know she gonna have something good for us.
Hey,
I don't
Asha.
know. Hey, sorry, I'm out here at Cal State Fullerton with my little cousin. I cooked him some food and shit like that, so I was dropping it off to him. So my daughters and them are here touring the campus with him. So pardon the way I look. This is early Sunday morning, me not fixed up. So I'm gonna kind of get off the camera. I'm gonna turn this way, but as long as you can hear me, it's
Girl,
cool.
hey, you look fine. Stop
You look
playing with yourself.
fine.
Serious.
Nah, she ain't right. She ain't ready.
So so
But
so
basically,
so
oh, go
you
ahead.
saying we was missing out on something? We was missing the point. What was the
Yes,
point? What was the
yes.
point we was missing?
The main point that I would say that you guys are missing is you're basing what other people see in you as an individual on what you feel is solid, on what you feel good characteristics are. So everyone does that, right? Um, I deal with a lot of women, I deal with a lot of men. I happen to be a person that people kind of pour into, and I'm loud. Okay, I'm gonna stand right here. She just turned up to me and said, "You're loud. Let me sit down. I'll let them carry on." I happen to be a person that people look at and look into for a lot of different things. Oh, thank you, Cece. And I like you. I was reading your comments and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm just super chilling today. I'm Tupac-ing it. Um, but what we tend to do is we say, hey, I think that this trait is a great trait for someone to have. So I'm going to build on this characteristic. I'm going to build on that. And then we base that on what we want to attract when it should really be the other way around. And I think that the more that we just become more involved and in tune with just building just who we are and just allowing life to take us wherever it goes, then naturally things will gravitate to you. For example, if someone says, "Hey, Asha, how's your day going?" And I say, "It's good. I'm having a good day." But really, I'm not having a good day. Now I'm putting it out there to attract a liar. Even though what I'm doing is trying to be positive, I'm lying, if that makes sense. So I think the bigger part of it is women are lost, but women are lost because of a lot of the pressure that's placed on us to now have more masculine duties and things. We have to split household bills. It's just everything is shifted. So you want someone who can be submissive. You want someone who can do the things that women are supposed to do as based on what society says. But then on the flip side, we have to do things that what men should do based on what was the original groundwork of how relationships are established. So the one thing I think that you guys are just missing the most is the main thing. Number one, being a chameleon. Number two, not being who you think you need to be to attract someone, and having characteristics that's considered solid or whatever that looks like, or being like a man and stand up and all that. All that sounds well and good, but if what you're saying isn't stand up to me and I don't value that, then yes, it's going to be lost. But there are women who do value that. Secondly, and the second most important thing is connection and chemistry. If you're in your 20s, see, here's the difference. In our 20s, this was perfect. The conversation you're having, it lines up to someone who hasn't experienced as much life, who maybe hasn't been married yet, who maybe doesn't have a career and education. So you meet a good man, he got a job, he got a car, he's making, pretty good money, he's a gentleman. You are going to attract that 20-something-year-old. Me at 40 is different. All of that's important, but what I need also is literally connection and chemistry. It's a hard string because half my life is over if I'm blessed to see 80. So the whole thought process between a 40-year-old woman, the 30-year-old woman, the 20-year-old woman, so it just depends also on where the woman is in life, what she's accomplished and what experiences she's had. That part of it is a difference. So you guys are taking foundational stuff for someone fresh out of high school, not someone who has a double master's degree and owns a home. It's two different dynamics of what they're going to see as far as value. And I think that sexiness, I think that chemistry, I think that connection, I think that direct eye contact, that shit that make you a little uncomfortable, I think that becomes more important when we get older in age and you're looking to settle down with someone. So those are just a couple of, I guess y'all hit all great points. I agree with everything you guys said. And I love what you guys are doing. And I love that you're Black men comfortable enough in your own skin to even have these kinds of conversations and discuss this, because it's uncomfortable as fuck. It's very uncomfortable, but the fact that you can do it and you guys can do it and articulate so well as Black men, I absolutely love it. If it's women on here, y'all, hopefully y'all is thriving like, ooh, let me be that one. No, I'm kidding. But that's what I feel. Oh, I go left. I go real left real fast. But that's what I think. I think that connection and chemistry is overlooked because we're looking at characteristics of value over how we make someone feel. Feeling is a far deeper emotion at this age now than it was at 20. We did shit based on love and requirements and the list of things, the do's and the don'ts. That was 20 years ago.
So,
Now, how you making
so
me feel?
So you
So
saying
go
that
ahead,
so
go
you
ahead.
saying that the characteristics, like how he makes you feel, maybe the adventure of it, him being funny, y'all chemistry, maybe his dominance, eye contact, that sauce, that energy
For
is as
sure.
valuable as the things like solid career, good
For sure.
character, good
For
father.
sure, the foundation is still needed. But I think that if someone, let's say, as if nowadays you have women that financially are the breadwinners now, right? You have people, dynamics where the man stays home and takes care of the kids. And it's okay, to be honest, because if he's doing all these other things and day by day he gets up, motivates you, encourages you, he feels good, all these things feel, and you can like, it's more of this versus like what you bring to the table. Let's put these things on a table. It's like this. And I think this is the part that's more important. That's the part that's missing, is connection. I think, and again, it's just more important now than before. Now, you got to have some stuff going on depending on where the level of that woman is. So you have to consider that too. So
So I want to point out something else you said, Asha. So are you, just so I'm clear, are you saying that as a man, we shouldn't be worried about what women may want in a man and just be ourselves and we'll attract the equal opposite?
you will, but I think that instead of working on other types of characteristics like, oh, good job, good career, that all that stuff is standard. All that stuff is just what it is.
It
I think
should
that
be.
just It should be. It should be. You're right. But
Hmm.
I think that when you
Yeah.
really dig deep and say, okay, what am I doing to intensify the experience that someone has with me when it's kind of like it's a swag, it's a certain thing about it, and it's not just a front, it's literally how a person feels when they're around you. It's how it's basically that level deeper. All the other stuff is surface, how they look, haircut, job, all that's all surface, because that's just what someone's going to either deal with you or not based on. Now we got to dig deeper, and the layer underneath that is it's the heartstring.
I think that actually you're coming from such to me a mature place as a woman, and I actually told JMO this the other day. I said maybe we just need to get some older women because it seems like
This
30
motherfucker
and
call me
under.
out. I'm
I
kidding.
mean,
I'm talking. Okay, I'm
not
for you. I'm
that.
for
Like,
you.
you know what I mean? What I
I'm
mean
for
is
you.
mature. That's what I mean.
Right. I
Like,
feel you.
and so it seems like 30 and under, they're just under the wave of the internet.
Mhm.
So you're saying
For
like
sure.
connection should
For
be
sure.
important. It's like, okay, job and all that stuff, that's standard. I feel you. That should be standard. And then
Mhm.
it should be the connection but it's like we can't even get to the connection part.
Can't get to that part. Yeah. So I mean, it
Yeah.
could just be that gentleman of your, and I don't know how old you guys are, to be honest. But maybe it is that you are in a certain area where you're like the fact that you're even having this conversation and topic on this forum lets me know that you probably are more in a space for a 42, 43 and up. You get what I mean? Someone who's more established, someone who may have been married, someone who may have the things that it will value what you have because they've already been through the knucklehead niggas. They already had that. So now it's like, dang, I want something different. And this young dude make me feel good. And ooh, yes, this is what it's about.
So
So
where
It might be the
I think
perfect
so
combination. Might
so
be the
where the
perfect
it might
combination.
hey
Right,
look
Don?
where the hey look Don, we just want to know
Hey,
when
Scott,
is
get
the
ready to
freezer?
download Cougars Meat.
Give me a little
Black
42, 43,
blackcougarsmeat.com.
44.
that is
You
not
know?
cougar. Cougar is like 50 and up, dog. That's messed up.
Okay.
I didn't realize I was
Okay.
cougar status yet, but it's all good. It's all
Nah,
good.
you're not.
I
You just
should
grown woman,
I
mature
should
status. That's what you
Yes,
are.
yes,
you better
yes.
Yeah,
embrace your cougar. You better embrace your cougar status, yo.
I can't
Embrace
stand
it.
you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you offline, dog. You already know I'm gonna come at you.
All right. Well, look, hey,
Yeah, I'm gonna drop
we know
off.
you.
Thank you guys for
Yo,
letting me hop in. But all
we appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Usher.
right, thank you guys.
All right.
How do I drop off? X me out.
Sound like sound like we gotta
Oh,
dive into cougar land.
What I was telling y'all was older women, Southern belles, are outside the race, and I'm saying it right here on the live. Hey,
Wait,
I'm
wait.
not
Hey,
playing.
man,
I'm not playing.
you can't say
I'm
that, man.
I'm not playing.
All these beautiful black queens on here, you can't say that, man.
Hey, I love my American Indian women. Okay, and but what I want us because what I say is when I say older, I can still be in my race. That's all I'm saying. But as a person, no matter what, how long do we sacrifice our happiness? How long do we sacrifice being in joy? Is the question for this game of dating.
So right now, I feel like we sounding like these internet niggas, but we usually don't sound like these internet
And
niggas,
why do you say we sound like these internet niggas?
cause it's like, okay, what's the solution? Well, go find something different. Go get another race. Go leave the country and be a passport, bro. That's what it sounds
I'm
like.
not saying leave the country to be a
It's
passport,
leading.
bro. Okay,
So you just
so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Gemma. What is the solution for when we are in the age of the most American women, regardless of the race, are under the lead of the internet and all of its opinions? How do we combat that?
that is a fantastic question. So I think it's on us as men. I
Okay,
think I think we have to evolve now. I
okay,
believe we will I believe we adopted this thing from like the 70s and the 80s. Protection, provision. I think that was the standard for a long time. But
Mm-hmm.
now we have to be aware the standard is protection, provision, chemistry,
Mm-hmm.
risk, personality, adventure,
Riz.
understanding, deep conversation. Like we have to
But
be
that,
multi.
but that been it though. Deep
I think
conversation, charisma.
I,
I mean,
honestly, I think back in the day, it was like what Asha was saying is the standard was just having a job. Like honestly think like back in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? Just from my perspective, y'all can let me know if y'all think otherwise. I think back in the day, chemistry did not weigh as much. It's just like, oh, he got a job, he got a car, I'm sold.
okay. I see what you're saying.
That's
Okay,
what I think.
I got you.
And I think it's like that because everybody has been exposed to so much. They've been exposed to the funniest guy, the most adventurous guy,
Mm-hmm.
more guys because of the internet. Now they got 50 guys in their DM and they get exposed. So before, previous to the internet, you only had the 6 guys in your neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to pick from the top personality from 6 guys. Now you have to
The
pick the top
pool is
personality from six
huge.
million guys.
Right, right, right. And
So
of course,
we
everybody wants the best one.
so as men, we have to be aware that the level of competition has gone up
Mm-hmm.
tremendously. So
Mm-hmm.
we do have to build more parts of us. We do have to be fit, funny, and actually have chemistry, game, adventure, and finances, and a retirement, and be a good father. Because women are evolving, so we have to evolve.
Now, evolve or change.
Evolve. We got to be we got to be the best version of man that ever hit this world because the
Interesting.
internet is making everybody evolve.
Got you.
So
Okay.
how do we keep up with the evolution curve? We have to lead the evolution curve by
And I
being
want
the
to
best of the best.
define evolve really quick. To develop gradually, especially from a simple to a more complex form. And so, in this scenario, like you said, maybe in the 70s, 60s, oh, he got a job and, he can build things. Cool. Bet. But now it's because now we're getting to the complexities of the woman. Now men have to also reach some same complexities within themselves to handle and manage and um, essentially have a woman and have it be success. And so I now in this conversation, I see what you mean by the evolve thing because it's not because of course you got the women trying to drag you out of who you are and being toxic, but we're not even talking about that. We're actually talking about literally just trying to be the cream of the crop. Do you get what I'm saying?
It's
And
just
so me being the cream of the crop, whether I'm with a woman or not, or whether I'm dating or not, everybody wins. Me and whoever is around me. And then of course when the woman comes along, she wins too. So
what's
you're
your
basically saying
what's
that go ahead, go ahead.
I just want to see what Don had to say
About the
about
evolution.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you the evolution of men to keep up with the demands of what we feel like a woman needs to be satisfied.
Like, do we have to evolve?
And
Um,
then that statement is just like
I
that.
mean, I
No, no, go
mean,
ahead,
because
John. Go ahead. It's just that
hey,
what a
it's
woman
clear,
needs to be satisfied. Like, go
it's
ahead, go
it's
ahead, man.
a woman is
it's clear from what they're telling us. It's clear that having a job and being a stand up man isn't enough. You got to have some riz, Don. You got to evolve your riz.
a woman's needs do matter a lot,
Of
but
course.
because um a woman could be with a man that has uh you know what? Let's rearrange it. Not needs, her wants, because her needs are met. Let's be
There we
honest.
go. There we go.
The earth,
Woo!
the earth is as the world is as
There we go.
safe as it's ever been.
Woo!
No significant wars. I mean, it's always been war, but in terms of what we're dealing with here directly in this country, I know gas prices are a little high. It's expensive to get a burger and whatnot, But besides,
Get a burger.
if you want to get a pencil delivered to your doorstep at 12 a.m., just one single number two pencil, you can have that done. And we've never lived in a society like that. So I believe everyone's needs are met.
Ooh.
If you don't, if you're have resources such as Google, YouTube, Instagram, different platforms to get them. It's all these wants. It's it's unfortunate, but we've been spoiled rotten as a culture, men and women. It's kind of like biting the apple. They say ignorance is bliss for a reason. So before Adam and Eve ate uh, the apple or whatever the forbidden fruit was in the garden, it was a blissful experience. It wasn't until they ate from the tree of knowledge, which was the forbidden fruit tree, that they had all these standards and these wants. Their needs were met. It was plentiful. They had direct access to God, hella fruit, and it was running around naked. It was now that we have too much exposure to these things that we have an insatiable amount of wants that are unnecessary to sustain a healthy relationship. Um, the highest form of happiness does not come from being rich and having all these things. It's from having less desires. So all these unnecessary wants and stuff like that is actually making people way more miserable. The people who have less exposure to these things and their relationship is cut off from the masses of society are way happier. And I'll land the plane by saying people reference, oh, grandma, grandpa have been together 40, 50 years. Yeah, grandma, grandpa didn't have the internet. Grandma, grandpa had the color green, yellow, and red to choose from. But when you give us this whole rainbow, it makes a lot harder to, excuse me, I don't know what that was. It's like a burp yawn, but it makes it a lot.
No, it's just the truth. It's just the truth, my brother. Go ahead, keep on.
It makes it a lot harder to just be satisfied with what you have. Like too much exposure is bad. It's a negative thing.
So now let's go back to this question: evolution or change? When
Evolution.
he just stated, but hold on, when you just stated that there could be other cultures where this is not going on, are we evolving to be with these women? Are we changing and adjusting to be with these women?
So I'm gonna still stand on evolving. I'm gonna tell you why. Because these things that I've built, I apply to everything. So I've learned that it is valuable to have charisma. But originally, I
Mm-hmm.
evolved my charisma for business, for sales, for
Okay.
building the empire, for leading teams, for speaking in front of people. So the reason why we have a certain level of charisma is why people are in here right now. If it was three lame niggas, nobody would be watching this right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe I evolved my personality
Mm-hmm.
to be more charismatic.
But you didn't do that for a woman, though.
I didn't do it for a
All
woman,
right.
but I know the value of doing it in that space, and I'm gonna continue to evolve in that space as well.
But again, having charisma for a woman, I don't even put that in this new age thing we're talking about. We're talking about the other bullshit. We talking about women wanting to be free online and sacrificing that for a healthy relationship. That's what we're
Well,
talking about, my brother.
that's a whole another.
That's
See, that's
no, it's
now you
not. No,
going
it's
now.
not. No, it's
Now you
not.
digging deeper.
No,
That's
it's not.
deep.
No, it's not. Because this is the same conversation. Why are we staying surface level? This is the bullshit that they're doing. We're not talking about no damn Riz. Like we can all agree that we should all have Riz. Like
All
that ain't
right,
no
all right,
issue.
all right. So me accepting to let my woman or agree to my woman being naked on the internet is
Hmm.
not evolution. That's not me
Okay,
evolving. That's me compromising.
but I think that a lot of these examples that we're talking about is compromising. Risen, having charisma, okay, evolution, yes. Let's all be better people so we can be better for our women and the families and everything. Okay,
So
great. Who's gonna debate that?
so the reason why I'll say the reason why I lean more towards evolution is because the animals that don't know how to evolve were extinct. If the trees got taller, the giraffes with the shortest necks died off, and they bred with other giraffes that had taller necks, and their lineage was able to continue. At the end of the day, we are supposed to be here, pair bond, be fruitful, multiply. And if we're so fixed in our ways and we don't adjust and evolve to the times, then the same can happen to us. And the last thing that I'll say is too is that what's True to you is true. What is true to everyone is the truth. So making the adjustment to how the world sees and values things is a form of evolution, because this is the new global truth and
Let me ask you
understanding.
this. Now, when everybody needed to get them shots, did you get the shot?
Hell no. I ain't evolved like
Why didn't you? Why didn't you? Whoa! Why didn't you evolve to the global truth?
because I was cool with going extinct rather than getting along.
All right, all right. So I'm saying here today, I'm cool with going extinct.
Yeah.
I got my land out in Lancaster. I'm about to start helping my elders. We're gonna be building, digging dirt and circles and fucking holes and shit. And hopefully, I come across some women out there who's into farm life, and then we happily ever after.
You
There
see,
we go. That's my evolution. I don't have
it's
to
so.
change. Y'all
Hey,
change
look.
in the internet ways, and y'all do all that
Hey,
shit. I can't
look.
do it. Can't do it.
Look. You can have all that land, right? You can have all those resources. You can grow your own food, and you can create your whole own city. But I got a question for you, my brother.
What, yo?
Do you
What?
got do you got chemistry? That's what I want. That's what I need to know.
Yo,
You need the chemistry to put it all together.
Yo, of course, that's a part of it. Like I said, chemistry, charisma, these are things that I already am. I've already been this way. I get it from my father, yo. So that's really it. But I feel like it's the other things that we complain about with women being under the internet curse and all. That is what I feel like is the issue. It's not the fact that we don't have charisma and we need charisma to keep being alive with these women. That's nothing. That's not hard. You take a class on charisma or something.
I would never
It's really
take. Hey, if you taking charisma classes, that's tough.
then you don't got it, obviously. But what I'm saying is this: you making an effort. But what I'm really getting at is the shit that we see online that we like. Damn, yo, like this is what we got now. This is what's in the dating pool. That's what I'm referring to right now with all of these things, and not wanting to adjust to that, and rather, like Asha said, be who I am and attract who's going to be for me.
And just to get to some of these comments, Nick Spitz and Kick, she been dropping some comments for you. She said, "Truth is, you're gonna keep evolving throughout your relationship, both individually and together as well. It is a consistent learning curve. Absolutely, absolutely. Also, shout out to Miss Chalet. That's my cousin. She came in here and she dropped us some dollars, so we definitely appreciate you for that.
Appreciate you.
For sure. Uh,
I'll read another
I want
thing. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I want to chime in on something Don said real quick, and this is about to might start a whole new conversation. But he said if the animals don't evolve, they become extinct, right?
Yes.
So this is what I look at dating right now, and I've never seen this said on the internet before ever. So I think this needs to be talked about a lot more.
Is this the thing
I
that you said that I didn't know that I was going to talk about?
No, that's a
Oh,
whole another great topic that we have not gotten to yet, and I definitely still
fuck.
want to get
All
to
right.
it because
Okay.
it's some next level. It's some next level shit. John Don got
All
some
right.
shit for us.
All right.
So if the animals don't evolve, they become extinct, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I look at that as like the dudes who aren't getting financially savvy, building up their empire as men, evolving. I believe a lot of women say, or a lot of people say, it's a lot of terrible men out here. And I agree. I say it's a lot of terrible people out here. I say the people in this world or the people in the United States that actually got a foundation of character, something that I value, honesty, something that I value, moving the world forward in a positive way, something that I value, is like the 1%. You know what I mean? So when they say it's a lot of shitty dudes, I agree. It's a lot of dudes that beat women. It's a lot of dudes that mentally, physically abuse. It's a lot of dudes that play game. It's a lot of dudes that sexually abuse. There's a lot of dudes that do a lot of wild stuff to women. Cool. And I know that exists. But me personally, I feel like those dudes shouldn't be allowed to procreate. Those are the animals that are supposed to become extinct. Now I'm gonna let you know where the problem lies. Those guys that's supposed to be extinct is getting the most pussy. They are getting the greatest reward there is to be had. They're getting the
Yes.
most female companionship, and they're
Mm-hmm.
getting healthy wombs. They're getting the eggs.
Mm.
They're allowing to procreate, and those are the animals that's supposed to be extinct. And that's a big problem that's happening right now. Those dudes, that's supposed to be the runts of the civilization are getting the biggest prize, which is
Mm,
to mate with the women and create life.
very
So
true.
whose fault is that?
I was about to say, and why though? No, nobody got the answer.
Who got quiet?
They can say you, you. Why?
Let's ask the chat. Why is that happening? Let's have a
Why the
keep it one.
runts? The
Hey,
runts of society.
let's have a keep it 100 moment. Ladies, fellas, why do y'all think that all of the most shitty men are having children? Because the story that we getting is my baby daddy this, my baby daddy that. He's literally the worst scum of the earth. Is that so? How about this? In my reality, when dealing with women in general, the story is I got the shittiest child's father. I got the shittiest ex. He was narcissistic. He abused me. He did this. He did that. And this is a
Mhm.
story I get consistently from all women, black, white, Asian. So is that y'all same experience or similar experience?
And I want to while we wait for that, man, I go back to the internet. I just think about over the years how where we are now has been a process of getting women and men to where they are now. So where we're now saying that the runts are having the babies with the best women.
The
How
runts
the
are
fuck?
getting the pick of the litter.
How the fuck is that even a how? Because in Animal Kingdom, that would never happen. That would never happen.
So
we
we
reached.
got Summit.
Oh, go ahead.
We got Summit that said traumatic individuals. We got Queen Mahogany that said the dick is good. CC said some women are being lost.
Uh,
So we all agree this has been consistent in everybody's reality. The runts are
yeah,
getting the pick of the litter.
and that's why we went. That's why we had that question of, do we feel like what we're bringing to the table is enough for today's woman?
So
Because it's
maybe it's
like the
too
niggas
much.
who not bringing enough.
Maybe it's too much.
Well, there's no real danger. There's no real need for survival. So our needs, even though
Mmm.
not needs, are different. Before,
Mmm.
the necessity of a man was higher,
Ooh.
but we didn't have, as many police, and we had wars and famine and so on and so forth. Now everybody is things are so plentiful that the focus now, or which was a previous need, has become a want, is entertainment. So whoever can fill that role the best is getting the pick of the litter
Oh.
when it comes to, opportunities at women and so on and so forth.
That
Whereas before, the
That's
guy
super deep.
actually
that I was just about to say that was the deepest thing said on this chat today. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
before, the guy who could protect, do the the provisions and lead the family, so on and so forth, that was a necessity. That's been replaced in so many ways. Women have their own money, their own education, as the lovely Asha said, master's degree, so on and so forth. So if a man is coming to the table saying, with in regards to the old guard, the old way, the previous way, hey, I have these traditional things as a man, it's like, I don't need that. Now I want some fun. That's the new necessity. My fun,
That's
my
that's
entertainment.
that is
Please,
it.
I gotta
That
get Saul expound on that, yo. Please.
I'm gonna let y'all take.
that No, bro, you broke it down so perfectly.
Yeah,
Like women now can get the things that men traditionally used to bring as valuable.
yeah,
So the need used to be money. The need used to be security. The
yeah.
need used to be protection and provision. But in the society that we live in now, women don't need that because they can either get it themselves or buy it. So now what do they need? They need companionship. They
Mm.
need entertainment. They need chemistry. They need an adventure. So those are the things that's valued more. So now we got the runts, the men that shouldn't be procreating, developing those skill sets and becoming masters at that. And those are the ain't shit niggas because they don't have a foundation of the quality traits that we traditionally believe that make men great. But they do have all of these other extra credit things that women are deeming of high value now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That was fire, Don, man. We and the things that the traits and qualities that we're bringing to the table, saying, "Hey, don't you guys want this?" This was more great or more valued in the time where survival was more important, and not just wants and desires and entertainment. And so now we're in the entertainment era, and like Jimo said, we gotta evolve. We gotta adjust it to where we are because women don't need a man for certain things as much as they used to anymore. So, hmm. So then, what does that look like for us?
How about this? How about this? Since Soul is here, what direction are you leading in Soul when it comes to when he gets to the point to where he wants to explore women? What are you instilling in him to be like, you know what? This is what women want and need, and this is the type of man you need to be to cultivate a family or to sustain a woman.
I mean, clearly, I'm going to be learning this as I go because what I'm instilling in him right now is who I am today. And, but obviously, I don't want him to not be prepared for the world that we're in because who I am, I'm not the world. I'm just one person.
Mm. I'm a
Make sure that I'm preparing him for what's actually the reality. And so I'm just learning right now, man.
you know
What were you going to say, Don?
my my phone is glitching, but I just pulled it up. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. They referenced it a lot in psychology, but like what we were going through in the past 50, 70 years ago, at the foundation of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is physiological. So that includes breathing, food, water, shelter, clothing, sleep. Then you have upper level is safety and security, health, employment, property, family, social ability. Next level is love and belonging, friendships, family, intimacy, sense of connection. And then the level after that is self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, need to be unique and individual. So when you get to that self-esteem level, you can see how we start to enter new age. And then the top level is self-actualization, morality, creativity, spontaneity, acceptance, experience, purpose, and meaning of inner potential. I never heard my grandparents lick about any of that shit.
Yeah.
So, in a totally different time period in terms of what our actual needs are based off of where we are in terms of survival.
And so that means we evolved as humans because a lot of our needs are being met. And now we go into the tangible things or the intangible things that we didn't deem necessary for survival. Since we surviving so hard, we need, what's that last list that you said? The higher.
Self actualization, morality, creativity, spontaneity, acceptance, experience, purpose, and meaning of inner potential.
So I'm gonna take two things: creativity and being spontaneous. Those things are highly valued in relationships now because the other needs are met. So at what point, as us as brothers, was like, "Hey, bro, you gotta step your spontaneity up, bro." Never.
Nah,
We never talked
I
about
mean,
those things.
well, you would have guys saying like niggas got to switch it up. You got to do shit like that. I mean, that's the same thing, right? Like,
Riz,
So
yeah.
so so but look though, it's at the top hierarchy of needs though. We talking about buying land and sustainability of finances, which is at the bottom of the hierarchy of needs.
Send me that list, Don, when you get a chance. Oh, what is that called? Maslow's what?
Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow.
Yeah, I got it.
So
Okay.
and this is all part of our evolution because our fathers couldn't have taught us the hierarchy of needs. Maybe some, you know what I'm saying? But this, even though it's been out for a while, this is all new to us. And since we're always on a journey of information, this is how we evolve. Because now we know these things and we can apply these to our day-to-day life, and it's gonna make it make sense even more.
Yeah, I'm looking, and just I'll show people this chart so they know what it even looks like. So
So
just
we at
Yes.
so you
the
guys can
top right
see.
now.
Yeah, so the physiological is down here. with the food, water, shelter, all that stuff. What we're talking about here is self-actualization.
Yeah.
So so when we come in with that love and belonging, at one point that was the top of the pyramid. At one point, at one point in society, love and belonging and bringing that to a relationship was the top tier thing based on what was happening in society right now. That's something to think
Hmm.
about. And I
Yeah,
told you we was having a conversation earlier. I think I told Don like our way of thinking is like in the 80s. We have an old school way of thinking, and we have not evolved past the 80s as far as relationships.
Yeah.
mm.
So protection. So this is the moral of this story. Protection and provision is not enough anymore because humanity has graduated past that. Is that a conclusion or no?
That is definitely a conclusion.
I would say yes, because even nowadays, how often do you see men go outside to handle business and scrap? It's rare. Most
So the conclusion for the conclusion. So for the people in the chat, we are concluding that protection and provision is no longer the standard. That's big. So chat,
That's a
do you
big
guys agree?
realization. Like, yeah, let's make sure we put emphasis on this whole second right here. Like, we are now saying that protection and provision is not the standard, and there's more to be had.
What y'all think? I want to get some feedback from the chat. So what y'all think? Is that still the standard for you ladies, or do you feel like you need something more, or are these different hierarchies like what we need to be tapping into? Shout out to Porter family as well. Uh, he has a great platform talking about relationships. Definitely need to get him on at one point. But yeah, I'm glad we're gonna save this clip because that's gonna be a big realization, and we can definitely have to dig into that more. Protection and provision is not enough. So now
Yeah,
what?
Jadon, you were definitely the MVP of today's discussion. I'm gonna give you that. Um, because you just came with like this chart right here is pretty
Hey,
banging. This is pretty banging.
wait. He's just getting started because
Oh,
gonna we're gonna segue into something else. So now we're talking about manhood, what we need to do as far as protection and provision. So Jadon is actually gonna let us know an even new level of something that we should be providing as men, as fathers that we never knew. This is like a blueprint for our lineage. That's what I want to say. Men should be
okay.
creating a blueprint for their lineage, instructions for our wife, instructions for our kids, and instructions for our lineage and our last name.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna let him break down uh, the way we can set up instructions for our entire last name that I didn't have awareness of. And this is something that I'm going to work on as well. And we're agreeing that we feel like this should be the new standard of men. We should have rules and regulations for our last name for the rest of our lives. So I'll let you hop in however you want to hop in because it's a deep topic. But so we got the creed, and what was the other one?
uh transferring assets, leaving your legacy, uh grooming your daughters, boyfriends, giving children's obligations to the family to inherit wealth, post and prenuptial agreements.
So you feel like as fathers, and this is what we talked about. He said as fathers or as men looking to build a kingdom, we need to have instructions for the kingdom. We can't just raise kids and not have it documented on how we want our family to be. So he was looking up some research and he was saying like, okay, well, if we're all farmers, I can put in my family creed that you guys are going to be farmers, and this is what our land last name is going to stand on. We're going to be the farmer family. All of y'all are going to be built up to be farmers, and this is something that's required of you uh, as instruction from your father. And in order to honor your last name, you're going to follow those instructions. So I'll just let you dive into that a little more on that conversation that we had.
So
Me? Oh,
this
okay.
originated from actually basic training. They were telling us, they were like, "Oh yeah, if you want to know about your family crest, you can blah 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 sign up for this thing and pay for it, and we'll give you your crest." And For those of y'all that don't know what a crest is, it's basically some sort of emblem, some sort of symbol attached to your family last name. And its legacies back. It's kind of like every country has their own flag. Well, our family lineage, depending on where it originates, have a crest of our tribe. And
Mm.
I thought about family creeds, and I kind of just went down a rabbit hole with that. Of that, since we are um, no longer in such an extreme state of survival, and we've also reached a place of sustainability. Now it's time to thrive. Now it's time to create those legacy building factors. One of those things being a family creed, a list of things that you desire to implement for you, not only yourself, but your family and your legacy, so on and so forth. Meaning, whether you're traveling or, unexpectedly there's a death, there's an absence of, that father, your family can still follow those guidelines and that routine. For example, if your family is in the funeral home business, I saw a movie about this recently, and that's what you want to continue to be the legacy, because your great grandparents and your grandparents and your father, so on and so forth, have built up so much equity in that area, and you don't want it to go to waste in your absence or your passing. You'll put it in your family creed, uh, what the guidelines are of your family following that, the legacy. You'll also, while you're present, teach your family every day what it takes to run a funeral home. And in the event of an unfortunate absence, let's say it doesn't even have to be that, just you travel, whatever happens, your family still has a routine or guideline to kind of abide by based off of the instructions that you want to elicit for them. And it could be anything. It could be fitness. You can be a family of doctors, a family of teachers, a family, whatever. But some sort of legacy that you want to leave, that even in your absence, your presence is still felt.
Mm.
Um,
And we both agreed that this is something, when it comes to being a father, this is like a prerequisite of being a father. And nobody taught us this. We kind of figured this out on our own. It's never been a man that told me I need to put together a crest and a creed for my family last name to make sure they have direction for when I leave this earth.
Not too long ago, I had a family member that passed, and even though uh, he was the man of the family, it was my grandfather. Even though, my aunt, his daughter, and my grandmother are taken care of, we can't fight biology at the end of the day. And it makes the mourning process so much harder when not only you have to deal with losing a loved one, but also you don't have a sense of direction. Because typically, even if we do want to talk about the evolution of society and so forth, men do provide direction. Whether No matter how advanced we get, there's just certain things biologically that we do provide to our women: direction, leadership, and so forth. Now, the extra that we've induced now is entertainment, but at its foundation, that's still on the hierarchy of needs. And in the untimely demise of my grandfather, my grandmother, she kind of looked lost. She didn't kind of know how to continue because there was no legacy that was established to continue. So you got to think you're already mourning because your husband's gone, but then you're also starting from ground zero because he didn't orchestrate anything to lead the family in what direction to go. So that's kind of where I got the idea of a family creed, so that even in a man's absence, all his loved ones can still feel his presence and know what direction they should be going in. Um, One of those things should be too is that if you build a fortune, in order for your offspring to inherit that fortune, they have to do certain things to honor your legacy to get that fortune. They just shouldn't be, given that just because they have your last name. I do believe at the end of the day, like, you let your kids be who they want to be, have the jobs that they want to have. But at the end of the day, there still is some sort of obligation to family. I don't think parents should be dictators, but if you put in work to raise your kids, there should be some way that they honor you, honor your legacy, and honor the family, and live up to at least a percentage of the expectations that you have for them. And it's not that you have these expectations from them from like an egotistical standpoint. You have these expectations for them because they're carrying your last name. And it's not just about your kids or your kids' kids. It's about generations thereon. So these things have not been established or implemented in a lot of homes. And that's why when unfortunate events happen, it's so much chaos because there's no leadership, there's no sense of direction, and there's all these high emotions in the event of something, you know, bad happening. So one of the other, I don't know if you want to chime in or if you want me to just kind of run down the list.
I got a
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
So in today's world where we live, in a world where people are free to be whatever type of people they want to be, kids are pushed to be more creative, and the no roles and no genders and all of this stuff is happening right now, to whereas we living in a free world. So what's the consequence of when a child comes of age and they like, well, you know what, I don't want to be a farmer, I don't want to open up a laundromat. Like, yeah, my dad did that, my dad's dad did that, and my dad's did that, but I want to evolve out of that space. Is there a consequence to that, or should it be a consequence for somebody wanting to choose another route?
All their assets go to the state and they start fresh. So anything that you were
He said that shit so quick, like nigga.
it's true. I mean, we see a lot of celebrities that don't create a will before their untimely demise. And now the family fighting with the government to get money that their parent worked so hard to have. So when I say all their assets to the state, I don't mean, oh, if they don't want to listen, give it to the state. I mean, if they didn't do what they needed to do in that creed, then there should be no reward for it. Because even in me introducing this new concept, or it's not a new concept, reintroducing this concept, this idea, it's not about what the parents want. The parents are cultivating this to pass down to the children so they can keep passing it down for future generations. So if someone doesn't want to have honor or obligation to the family, then what are they really doing? Then they're not a part of that family. That's
So
yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just saying. So I guess, like you said, like, all right, well, if you don't want to carry on the family business and honor the family name, you just start over fresh. And I guess that's not a consequence. That's just the choices. That's just the results of your actions. Like that's just, I don't call it a
Yeah,
consequence. We set you up for success,
yeah.
and you're choosing to opt out of that to take your own journey. So then you should start your own journey fresh. Why
Yeah.
would you use all of our family money to start your own journey going elsewhere?
And it's not
That
like
has no
any good loving parent. I mean,
interesting.
off like this, but
Interesting.
Super
it's not
interesting.
any good loving parent is just going to exile their child. Nah,
You
still come by the house, still come enjoy the food at the cookout. I might start you off at 20,000. I might give you 20,000 and say, hey, you live your best life and you figure it out. You can always come back home, consult with me. That opportunity is always there. But I might not give you 10 million to the whole family business like I was originally.
yeah.
It don't have
I get it. I get it.
where it's just like you totally cut off. You're not a part of this family. It don't have to be nothing toxic, but it's like I'm gonna let you find your own way
Hmm.
since you don't want to be a part of this or integrating at all. And with that being said, let's say a family owned a bunch of laundromats for generations. They don't have to be so involved if it's an obligation to the family to be at the laundromat every day. Adjust to the time, set it up for how it works for you. Let's say their family owns multiple laundromats or multiple restaurants, but they want to act. Still act. Enjoy that passion, but allocate a certain amount of time in your life to maintain that family business, is what I'm saying.
If you're not growing mushrooms and shooting films, you're not getting nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
You I mean, a lot of people, too, like when they have kids, some people admit this, some people
Go ahead,
won't.
bro.
They say, hey, I'm going to have kids so that when I get old, I want somebody to take. So I think
The
that,
cheese curds. It's a cheese
in
curd.
some ways that can be kind of selfish, but it's also not. We provide value with the expectation that it'll be reciprocated to us in some way. And that's the whole point of the fruit that we get from relationships, even with our children. So the way that they can reciprocate that, honoring the family. and continuing the legacy. Even if they're not super actively involved, find a way to be involved while pursuing passions.
You muted.
Sorry. So I just want to address what Bree said. What if the family is toxic and the child decided they want no parts? It will also boil down to personal choice. That goes right down to what Jadon just said. Either way, if you feel like the family's legacy is toxic, you don't like the name, you don't want any parts, then you create your own. But why are you getting the toxic family's money? The money toxic too.
Yeah.
So just leave it be. Just start your own, and there you go. Man, this is so good, man. This man, Jadon won today, bro. He won, bro.
He's on
I
fire.
have nothing to say. Like this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jadon, you the reason that soul you got it bad now. So Jadon fucked you up. So it's like nah,
Hey,
but no, that's really good. That's really good.
and this is why we having these conversations, because we have these conversations in private. But what's gonna make our podcast or our interview show or whatever we do unique is, once again, you guys get to be a fly on the wall and see how men evolve. We're evolving in real time right in front of you. So for the people who value evolution, this is the place for you. And if you don't value that, you can come for the games and the giggles. But we literally showing y'all how we level up as men every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another I wanted to address too is the emergency action plan. We have it at work, but why don't we have it for our families? What do we like? So many people are lacking life insurance. So many people are lacking living wills. So many people don't even know what a high yield savings account is or a CD. And in the age of information, when there is so much entertainment, there are also a lot of resources that we have outside of the entertainment that should be considered a necessity for your family's sustainability in the future. So, an emergency action plan. If something happens to mom or dad, we are going to do A, B, C. It can be a multiple choice because not every solution is for every problem, but a lot of families need phone numbers to call, people, a lawyer, a family doctor, someone. I learned a lot of this stuff too recently by watching a lot of mafia movies. You know, you know, yeah, like mobster mafia movies. How they move. They got specific lawyers that they use. They got specific doctors. They got their go-to people. Network so niche and so tight that they're solidified to be able to continue the generational wealth legacy. And this is how we start to build. Now, as it pertains to if you have a toxic family, that is unfortunate, but that's where, okay, you could even go as far to change your last name, and then now you cultivate the legacy.
So,
Yeah.
do you feel like these are all like prerequisites that we should have before we have kids? Like, you feel like it should be like before you even try to have a kid, you need to have these things written out.
I think at least an
I
idea.
think
You can go.
you should have a decent amount established. I think you should. Like even me, I'm fairly young. I don't have no children, and I don't plan on having any anytime soon. But I think you should even know, have a gauge of how many kids you want to have. Look at what inflation will look like around you want to have those kids. Calculate how much money you're going to need to live comfortably every month and every year, stuff like that.
All right. So we got
You got a
Alana. Is that how you
well-spoken
pronounce it?
woman in the room, Alana. Yeah.
So she had a lot of gems to drop in the chat. She was going crazy in the chat. A
Hi
lot of
guys.
insightful stuff. So I'm so happy that you was able to come live with us. So
Yeah,
did you have something particular that you want to chime in on? Is this something that we was talking about specifically that drew your interest?
yeah. I love a lot of what's being talked about in terms of like legacy and leaving things behind and having some order. But we also just really live in this very hyper digital age where everyone feels like they have like these options, so relationships aren't lasting. Like you're seeing a lot of different particulates happen because of the fact that we're so connected digitally. And like, so the way family structures looked, the way the nuclear family looked in the 1950s and 60s and 70s, while it's beautiful to like sensationalize it or romanticize it, it's not a lot of times what is in practice now with our families. Like, I know my family doesn't look like that. The way I had kids doesn't look like that. I don't know if you guys have kids, but like, that's just not how the structures are going. Like, I got married, and very quickly within a 5-year frame, usually our relationships, I don't know how many millennials are here, or how many Gen Z, etc., are lasting about 5 years. Nobody's doing that level of family planning in 5 years. So a lot of times you have like single moms who are, and I can speak like just from this like sort of gate and station, but like there isn't a lot of bandwidth to even like think about that sort of stuff. You have folks who can't even like pay their bills, let alone think about like life insurance and some of the extras that you were talking about earlier. Um, so yeah, I'm concerned for that. Like I hear a need for it. I agree that there's a need for it, but I do also think that like I don't know how much we're gonna be able to get that done if we don't start realizing that we really need each other, like stay with each other and like actually build these families out.
Do we feel like this could be different realities where you have some people who are building in this way that Jadon is saying, and then you have some people who can barely afford to pay rent, and those realities running simultaneous? Like, what do we think about that? Opposed to the whole reality being one way.
I think several truths can exist at once. So like that's an absolute like there's definitely people who are doing it,
Mm-hmm.
but there are also people who are not.
Yeah.
And there are instances where there are people who don't think that way and who are not, who meet people who are, and they might end up procreating. Like that happens all
Mm.
the time.
Interesting. I feel like this convo can go way deeper, but we're not gonna go there. I feel like we should just keep it where it is because now we talk about different realities and them having. I don't want to go there, but that point of a person that's so deep into family planning and blah blah blah, and the other person that can't pay their rent and them procreating is a crazy statement. That's all I'm gonna say.
I
So
mean that takes us back to people being equally yoked.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Where
That's the day. Them Bible bars be coming through.
They
Bible
do.
bars.
and how I let you do is the burden of this responsibility is on the man. So I know it takes two to tango, and a lot of people on the podcast talk about, oh, well, women that. But I said months ago on our podcast that men have to really work on how they orchestrate their leadership. Being a leader is just not a boss; it's also how you water your garden. And if you're not watering your woman properly or working on the discrepancy in yourself, you can cause a lot of chaos and suffering in your family. A lot of dudes, before they get married or get in a relationship, really assess themselves first and then assess the type of woman that they're joining, their pair bonding with. Because if he has certain traumas or past history, you once the honeymoon phase wears off and you have to really go on that life also help her heal from those things before you even implement any of these legacy building techniques. So I think the burden of from my perspective falls back on the man, and I was directing it more towards this is why men that have these sort of things. Not that women can't orchestrate these things, they definitely can. But if they're not working out because relationship time span is only lasting 5 years, there's something else that maybe man should be doing so that it is more fruitful. I put the responsibility on the man.
Yeah.
And
I think about
we
like
definitely. Oh, I was gonna say we definitely appreciate you hopping in.
yeah.
I was just gonna say we probably gonna wrap up in a little bit, but it's Alana, right?
Hmm.
Okay. So did you have any final thoughts, on just the topic in general, just to wrap up?
Yeah. In terms of like the responsibility being on the man, like whoever the responsibility is with, I do think go back to like that technology point a lot because I think a lot of folks are like looking for partners in ways that they wouldn't have before. And in order to sort of reset, like thinking about those people that you went to church with, or thinking about the people that your mom, wants to introduce you to, people that are really going to align with your values and the things that you hold dear are going to be the ways that you find partners that I think align with the way you want to like legacy build, because it's probably not going to be someone who's like in a totally different place with a totally different value set that you met online, who like values totally different things and didn't grow up the way you grew up. Um, so I think about those things when it comes to, again, just technology and the access we have with regard to like finding a partner. But thanks for bringing me on.
Hey, we definitely appreciate you. We all gonna make sure we follow you. You know, we're gonna be doing this at least once a week and get more consistent with it, and we're gonna evolve it. Once again, I'm gonna keep telling people the purpose of this is so you can get three black men's perspective on how we evolving through this new digital space, how we evolving with how we deal with women, how we evolve and how we deal with money. And I think it's very valuable for all people to see this happen in real time and have healthy conversations. So I'm happy that you was able to pop in and give us your amazing insight. And you are a guest. You're welcome to come on with us anytime.
Thank you so much. I'll see you guys.
All right, appreciate you.
Peace.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up in a little bit. But if y'all down to do another one later, I'm with it. I'm pretty free today. But also, who TV is on? Is that you, Scott?
Oh, sorry.
It's a little bit loud.
That's Blippy.
All right, so now we just like big popping podcast. We got to worry about our production quality and our sound. You know what I'm
My bad,
saying?
my bad, y'all.
I'm messing with you. But yeah, I'm also down to get on later. I feel like this is a great conversation. If y'all available, I'd love to do it again. But any final thoughts or any last words y'all want to get off?
No, I mean, I'll just say I love the legacy building aspect. That is a great topic to bring up. I definitely want to create that for myself and start writing things down, desires that I want for my family moving forward, my last name, um, and just find it's really accepting where we are right now. When I look at this Maslow's hierarchy um, of needs, you know, the thing that I value the most and love the most is the physiological and the safety and security. Love and belonging to, but those bottom three, and they're at the bottom. And so I love that, self actualization is morality, creativity, spontaneity, acceptance, experience, purpose, meaning, and inner potential. Um, and I'll just say that yes, as men, in today's society, we do have to bring a little more than just, paying the bills and bringing security. And that should push the average man to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Start a business, increase your skill set. Whatever it's going to take for your income to rise. We should be looking towards that because we're in a different world now. So those are my final thoughts.
And I'll just say lastly, what we're saying, this device is not one. Just like there's a different ecosystem of animals, aquatic creatures, so on and so forth, from bugs to bacteria to sharks to lions, so on and so forth. That also, there's a different ecosystem that everybody's spirit sits in internally, and there's a different ecosystem that everybody's mentality is in. So, with that, if this resonates with you, this is definitely something that you can inherit and try to do in your own life. But if not, it may not be your time. We are comprised of energy of past generations. So it might not be you. It might be your kids. It might be your kids' kids. When it's supposed to happen, it will happen. So I don't want this to come across as a thing. It's like we're saying everybody has to do it. No, it's just a suggestion. It's another podcast talk, like a drop of water in the ocean of podcasts. And if it does resonate with you, this is another option that you have. So that's all I want to say. I'm going to pass it to JMO.
Yeah, I feel like these is all super great conversations that we have all the time. I'm just really happy that as men we are doing what we said we was gonna do. We started this a minute ago. We had a little momentum. We
Yeah.
fell off, but we right back at it. So y'all are seeing the evolution of a real brand. The brand is it's levels to this shift. We are figuring out the name because we feel like that's a little long, but ultimately, it's levels to this shift really summarizes what we do. And you guys are seeing, once again, in real time, three men figure it out. We not the ones that know it all. We know a lot, but we're also in the process of evolution and figuring it out, and y'all get to watch it and experience it. So we need you guys' support. We need the likes. We need the follows. We need the support, and we need the encouragement as well. We're going to make sure y'all cup is runneth over. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all do the same for us. So any of our videos, make sure you drop a comment. If it's any questions you guys want to ask us, feel free to ask. If you want to be involved, if you have something that you feel like might amplify the brand, we are looking to continue to build the movement. We are all three men that have our own empires, and we're going to use this platform to build a collective empire. And I love these brothers and everything that they got to say, and I learn something new from them every day. And I'm just happy that y'all was here to, join us in continuously moving forward. So on that note, we might get back on later. Send us a DM if you want to see us on later. Drop a DM. If we get enough DMs, we'll just get back on. You know what I mean? We see if the people want to hear more, we can give y'all more. But on that note, I definitely appreciate y'all brothers, and everybody have a good one.
All right, salute.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.